Hello and welcome, movie lovers. Hope you are doing well. In this video, we have brought for you. So let's roll in.
Our story begins in the lively city of Kanpur, India. Satu, a kind-hearted clerk in the excise department, lives there for his job. His family is on the lookout for the perfect bride for him. They come across a girl's photo and immediately like her. They tell Satu he has to meet her. Satu, however, isn't too excited. Nervous about the upcoming meeting, he thinks, how can anyone decide to spend their whole life with someone after just 10 minutes of talking? What if it goes wrong? It could ruin everything. The girl in question is Arti, a brilliant student studying at a top university in Allahabad. While her family discusses her marriage, Arti has other plans. She wants to focus on finishing her studies and landing a good job before thinking about marriage. Before meeting Satu, she calls her mother and says, "Please try one last time to convince Dad. I'm not ready to get married yet." Her mother, a bit frustrated, says, "I had to give up my studies after MA, and now I have to hear about it all the time. Your father won't listen. Just speak politely in front of the boy." But Artie chuckles and replies, "I'm going to see him, and he's coming to see me. We'll both be judging each other." Unknowingly, Artie, her father, hears the entire conversation. Later, he tells her, "This boy is a government employee with his own house. If you don't agree to this match, I'll marry you off to someone else this year." Feeling pressured, Artie reluctantly agrees to meet Satu. When they finally meet, Artie confidently says, "Ask me anything you'd like to know." Satu smiles and says, "This isn't an interview. I'm here to see you, just as you are here to see me." He adds thoughtfully, "It's strange how such an important life decision is expected to be made in just half an hour." Artie nods in agreement. As they talk, Satu shares a bit about his job and says jokingly, "So do you think I want to get rich by taking bribes?" Artie asks seriously, "Do you?" He replies firmly, "Never. I believe in honesty." Then she asks what kind of wife he wants. "Someone who's more of a friend than anything else," Satu says. "I don't expect morning tea or foot massages." When he asks Artie the same, she says, "I just want a husband who will let me work." Satu says, "Of course. With both of us working, we'll have double the income. That sounds even better." Artie laughs. "One more thing. I want to go to the movies every week." "Done," Satu says. "Every Sunday, it's a date." They both realize how much they have in common. Then, with a playful smile, Satu holds up two fingers and says, "Pick one." Artie picks a finger. "Then it's settled," he says. "We'll tell our families tonight. We're ready to get married." Their story begins not with love at first sight, but with friendship, understanding, and mutual respect. And somewhere back home, wedding preparations are already in full swing. Artie's cousin Ranjan proudly tells her father, "Last year she topped her MA. This year, too, she'll be number one." But her father frowns and replies sharply, "Enough with your suggestions. Government jobs are not meant for girls." Meanwhile, at Satu's home, his father tells his wife, "Satu and I have decided that we won't take any dowry for this marriage." Well, dowry is kind of donation, but considered illegal in India. But Satu's mother isn't happy. She argues, "We have to take dowry for Satu's wedding. That money will help with our daughter's marriage later. That's how things are done." Later, Artie's father and uncle visit Satu's house to talk about the wedding. But instead of a warm discussion, things quickly turn into a money talk. Satu's uncle bluntly says, "This marriage won't happen without 25 million. Artie's father tries to explain calmly, "I can't afford that much." But Satu's uncle and mother insist, "Not even less than 25 million, and the marriage is off." Even though Satu's father doesn't agree with dowry, he stays silent. The uncle says, "Your daughter is lucky Satu liked her. Otherwise, we wouldn't have agreed for so little." Feeling helpless, Artie's father agrees. On the way home, Artie's uncle Yogi asks, "How will you manage so much?" He replies with a heavy heart, "I'll take a loan before I retire, then pay it back slowly." It's clear that the dowry system is a painful truth. Fathers are ready to sacrifice everything just to make their daughters happy. Back to the couple. Artie and Satu meet again. She wears a pretty pink dress, and Satu can't stop smiling. They start spending more time together. What began as a friendship is slowly turning into love. One day, Satu asks, "Where should we go on our honeymoon?" Artie laughs and says, "Mussoorie," he replied. "Done!" She calls him by his full name, Satyendra. He smiles and says, "Only people who love me call me Satu. From now on, you should too." Wedding preparations begin with lots of joy. On Arti's birthday, Satu invites her to a room behind the temple. When she arrives, the room is full of flowers and balloons. Arti is touched. Satu gently says, "I love you." Arti smiles but says, "I'll tell you that after we're married." That night, Satu dreams of marrying Arti and starting a happy life. Just then, his sister wakes him up. The next day, during the haldi ceremony, Arti's sisters Ava and Ranjan visit. Ava compliments Satu's mom. "It's so nice that you're letting Arti work after marriage." But Satu's mother suddenly snaps. "Let her work. Who said that? No woman in our family has ever worked, and they never will, as long as I'm alive." Everyone goes silent. The cheerful mood turns tense. Satu's mother adds, "Satu is still young. He doesn't know how marriage works." And just like that, Arti's dream of freedom begins to shake. Despite this tension, the wedding preparations move ahead. The groom's family gets ready and leaves for Arti's house. Meanwhile, Arti puts on her wedding dress, excited and a little nervous. That's when Ava and Arti's best friend Neelam come running in with this big news. Neelam shouts joyfully, "Arti, you've passed the PCS exam. You're going to be a government officer." Arti can hardly believe it. She jumps with joy and says, "Satu is really my lucky charm. Today is the happiest day of my life. We'll celebrate double, my wedding and my result." But Ava doesn't smile. She remembers what Satu's mother said in the morning. Arti's dream might be crushed before it even begins. Ava quietly goes to her father and shares the news. "Arti passed the PCS exam. Please let her work." But her father frowns and says coldly, "From today, Arti belongs to the Mishra family. They will decide her future, not us." Ava protests. "You want her to be a housewife her whole life? She worked so hard for this. Don't lock her up like this." He snaps back, "Say one more word and I'll raise my hand." He tells her to leave the room. Ava runs to Arti and tells her everything, what Satu's mother said and what their father is planning. Arti is shocked. "I never imagined this," she whispers. Ava pleads, "You have only one chance. If you run away now and become an officer, everyone will have to respect you. Otherwise, your dream is gone." But Arti shakes her head, torn. "I can't lie to Satu. I can't betray him." At that moment, their uncle Yogi, who was standing outside, enters. He looks at Arti and says, "Do you truly want to become an officer? Then go. Boys can leave any time, but society never lets girls choose. Life comes only once. Be brave." With her sister and uncle's support, Arti finally makes her decision. She's come too far to give up now. She wants to live her dream, not bury it under wedding rituals. Ava hugs her tightly and says, "Love will return, but this chance won't." After much hesitation and crying, Arti agrees. As they sneak out, Arti's mother sees them. But instead of stopping her, she hugs Arti, holds back tears, and gives her silent blessing. Arti escapes quietly through the back door. Outside, the house is glowing with lights and music for the wedding. No one suspects anything. Inside, Ava and her mother welcome the guests with calm faces, hiding the storm in their hearts. But soon, the truth breaks out. Arti's father finds out she's gone. Furious, he slaps Ava in front of everyone. Arti's mother tries to calm him, but he starts shouting and panicking, afraid of what people will say. Just then, Uncle Yogi steps in and says firmly, "Now is not the time to worry about society's opinion." Arti's father sat down, defeated, and said in a choked voice, "We gave them 18 million. Should I fold my hands and beg them to return it just because my daughter ran away?" Uncle Yogi stepped forward. "Let me handle this. You stay calm in front of them." Yogi then called Satu's family aside and broke the news. Arti has left. She wrote a letter saying she can't go ahead with a marriage that's based on a dowry of 25 million. Satu's father was shocked. "I never agreed to this dowry," he said. But the damage had been done. Just then, Arti sent a message to Satu. "I've cleared the PCS exam and I'm going to follow my dreams. I'm sorry." Satu tried call her again and again, but she didn't answer. Back in the room, Yogi turned to Satu's uncle and said firmly, "Return our 18 million and we'll leave." Satu's uncle got angry. "Your daughter ran away and now you want money back? You won't get a single penny from us." Things were getting tense. But Satu stepped in and said quietly, "I'll return the money. I don't want my parents to suffer because of me." He went home and asked his mother for the money. She looked upset and said, "We've already spent 8 million. Still, Satu insisted, "We have to return the full 18 million. With no choice, his mother gave up her jewelry to arrange the remaining amount. Satu returned the money. Later, Ava called Arti. "We gave them back the money. They've gone." Ava paused, then added, "You should talk to Satu. He's not okay." Arti hesitated. "He didn't want the money. That's why I didn't call." "Still," Ava said gently, "he deserves a call. He's been through a lot." On their way home, Satu's father suddenly felt dizzy and got out of the car. Holding his son, he cried. Satu hugged his father tightly, silent and heartbroken. Just then, Arti called. But Satu, humiliated, heartbroken, and drained, let the phone ring. He couldn't bear to talk. He hung up. And from there, life took a new turn. 5 years passed. Arti had now become a respected PCS officer. She even helped her best friend Neelam get a job in her department. Her family was happy, and her father was now proud of her. Everything seemed perfect. But life had more tests. One day, Arti was suspended on charges of accepting a bribe of 3 billion from a man named Kukreja. The truth? She hadn't taken a single penny. It was a trap. She went to her senior officer and said, "Sir, you've known me for years. Do you think I could ever do such a thing?" The officer looked tired and said, "It's not about what I believe. All the evidence is against you." He added, "An official investigation will start. The district magistrate DM is taking over the case." Arti was told to report to the DM the next morning at 9 a.m. sharp. The next day, Arti nervously walked into the district magistrate's office. She was stunned. The DM was none other than Satu, the same Satyendra she had loved and left 5 years ago. Seeing him, her eyes lit up with mixed feelings. "Satu," she said softly. But Satu, now a high-ranking IAS officer, stopped her coldly. "Don't call me that. I am your senior officer now. You must address me as sir." Arti felt a wave of embarrassment. She stood silently, unsure what to say. Then Satu said in a harsh voice, "You wanted to rise high in life, right? So you started taking bribes? You're part of this corrupt system now. You must be comfortable with it." His words were bitter. Arti tried to explain, "Sir, I'm innocent. Please hear me out." But Satu cut her off sharply. "I don't need your explanation. You will be punished for your crime. Suspension from your job and 6 years in jail." The scene shifts to Satu's close friend Priyash. They sit together, and Priyash asks, "Are you sure Arti is guilty?" Satu answers coldly, "Whether she is or not, I'll punish her." He continues, "This is not about love anymore. That ended long ago. Now it's war." Meanwhile, Satu's family is celebrating the news of Arti's suspension. His mother calls him and happily says, "Now she's facing the humiliation she gave us." After the call, Satu remembers the pain his family felt when Arti left him at the wedding mandap. Fueled by anger, Satu leads a raid on Arti's government quarters. He turns the place upside down under the name of official search. He tears their old photos and even smashes the little Taj Mahal Arti once gifted him. His heart is clearly still burning with pain. Later, Arti's sister Ava and friend Neelam arrive at her quarter and see the mess. They start cleaning up. Neelam says, "Satu isn't here for justice. He wants revenge." Ava replies, "But Arti did nothing wrong. Why should we be scared of him?" Neelam shakes her head. "He has power now. He can send her to jail just like that." Ava advises, "Maybe Arti should talk to him. Say sorry. He did love her once. Maybe he'll forgive her." Arti finally gathers the courage and goes to Satu's quarters. She knocks and quietly says, "I truly apologize." But Satu is cold and unforgiving. "Oh, really? And when exactly did you realize your mistake?" "Now that I have the power. Not once did you come to meet me in 5 years." He continued, his voice heavy with anger, "I thought what we had was love, but you've always been practical. First then, and now." Arti is hurt, but she stays calm. "Please don't take this personally." But Satu replies with steel in his voice, "This is completely personal. I will never forget how you betrayed me. I don't just feel anger, I feel hate." Satu coldly said, "Pink. I hate the color pink now." It was a sharp reminder of Arti, the color she once loved to wear. Since the investigation began, Satu constantly found ways to humiliate Arti. At a party, when Arti politely approached him to talk, Satu publicly mocked her, even making fun of the bribery accusations against her. The laughter around her pierced like knives. Arti quietly left, humiliated. Later, they crossed paths in the hallway near the washroom. Artie looked at him with pain and frustration. "What do you want from me?" she asked, her voice shaking. "I can't bear this anymore." Satu replied with a cold smirk. "I want nothing. I'm just doing my job." But Artie snapped. "Is it your job, or just a golden chance for revenge?" Satu, filled with rage and misunderstanding, shot back. "You never trusted me. If you had, none of this would be happening." Tears welled in Artie's eyes. "If I hadn't left you that day, you would still be a clerk. You became an officer because of me." Her words came from pain, but Satu took them as an insult. "So you couldn't marry a clerk? It would have ruined your status, right? You were selfish then, and you still are." Artie's voice cracked. "Then go ahead, send me to jail. I'm done." Later, Artie's father approached Satu's mother and begged for help, but she coldly refused. The pain of the wedding day still burned in her heart. Desperate, Artie met Kukreja and begged him to tell the truth. But Kukreja smirked and said, "Everyone knows, you took the bribe. Now why try to punish Satu?" Unknown to them, one of Satu's officers had recorded the entire conversation in camera. When Satu saw the video, he acted quickly. He ordered Artie's arrest, but not out of revenge. That night, Satu visited Artie in jail. As she sat behind bars, he quietly said, "Happy birthday." Artie smiled faintly. This is the best gift of the night. Meanwhile, her parents went to Satu with their house documents, begging for Artie's release. But Satu had a bigger plan in motion. During the trial of court, he released the hidden video footage. It clearly showed that Kukreja and Neelam, Artie's own friend, had conspired against her. They had forged her signature and taken bribes in her name. Artie had no knowledge of the transactions, yet all evidence pointed to her, by design. The courtroom was shocked. So why, everyone wondered, had Satu waited so long to release this proof? The truth came out. Satu had never wanted revenge. He had taken Artie's case to protect her. By sending her to jail temporarily, he had kept her safe from the real criminals. If Artie had stayed free, Kukreja's people might have kidnapped or harmed her. He bore her hatred to keep her alive. The court declared Artie innocent. Legal action was taken against Kukreja and Neelam. And finally, the world saw the real reason behind Satu's actions. Not revenge, but love and a silent fight to protect her. When Artie heard the truth from Kukreja and was declared innocent, she broke down and went straight to Satu. "It's so painful," she said in a trembling voice, "when someone close betrays you." Satu silently handed her father's land documents back. But after that, no matter how many times Artie tried to contact him, Satu began ignoring her. Ava tried to console Artie. "After everything that's happened, it's natural for Satu not to trust you easily," she said gently. "Honestly, if I were in his place, maybe I'd have done the same." Artie nodded. "But I know he still loves me. If he didn't, he wouldn't have risked so much to save me. He showed anger, but inside, he cared." Determined to win his heart again, Artie started following Satu. She tried recreating moments from their past, even got drunk with him one night just like she'd once promised. And one day, with courage and hope in her heart, Artie proposed marriage to Satu. But Satu said, "Once I wanted to marry you, Artie. But now I don't believe in marriage anymore. I saw my family break down. People still talk behind our backs. I'll never marry anyone again." Artie didn't give up. Deep down, she knew his heart hadn't changed. Only his pride was in the way. Months passed. Wedding preparations began for Artie. Her fiancé, Sharad, even invited Satu's family. The news spread fast. At a temple, Satu met Artie. "You wanted to marry me days ago, and now you're marrying someone else." Artie's face was pale, but her voice was calm. "I did want to marry you, but you didn't want to marry me," Sharad agreed. Sharad happened to be nearby and overheard their talk. Satu turned to him and said coldly, "Don't marry her. She can't be trusted. She wanted to marry me days ago. Now you?" Sharad told everything to Artie. Furious, Artie grabbed Satu and pulled him into a side room. "How dare you?" she shouted. "You won't marry me, but won't let me marry anyone else either. Do you love me or not?" Tears streamed down her face. "You say you hate me, but why are you here again and again? I love you, but I need to know, what do I mean to you?" She looked him in the eyes. "I've made my decision. Marriage isn't about love alone. Love grows in marriage. I'm marrying Sharad." As she turned to leave, she paused, walked back, kissed Satu gently, and whispered, "Come to my wedding. That's all I ask." The wedding day arrived. Artie looked radiant in a pink dress, Satu's favorite color, though he had claimed to hate it. Seeing her, Satu's composure broke. He stood in the crowd and called out, "I love you, Artie. I can't live without you. My ego ruined everything. I'm sorry. I'm still your Satu." Artie smiled through tears. "But I can't hurt my family again, Satu." Sharad came forward, furious. Seeing Artie holding Satu's hand, he pushed him aside and dragged her to the mandap. Moments later, Satu stormed in with a gun, pointing it at Sharad. "You won't marry her," he yelled. Chaos erupted. People screamed. Artie's father fainted. Suddenly, Ranjan, Satu's old friend, stepped forward. Enough drama. Everyone calmed down. Then came the shocking twist. Ranjan looked at everyone and said, "This marriage, it was all a setup. Artie and Sharad's wedding was never real. It was a plan. This was all a plan to make Satu jealous, and his own family was involved." When Ranjan tried to stop him, Satu beat him up, and Ranjan confessed. In a twist, Satu acted dramatically, and finally he and Artie reunited. What a beautiful ending.
Thanks for watching, and hope you have enjoyed this. See you in next amazing video. Till then, take care and best wishes. But don't forget to like and subscribe.